Alright, hello. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I don't know why that happened. I genuinely didn't do that. It went on for like an extra minute. I can't even do that. Like, it literally doesn't even let me do that. It did it automatically. I'm not sure why. The max I can do is 3 minutes. So I click the 3 minutes button because that cancels it for the next hour. Which, I mean, it's just kind of a net positive for everyone. And I mean, if you are here at the start of the stream, you give me like 3 cents. So, thank you for those 3 cents. If you're one of the people here at the start of the stream, you're not missing anything though, because I specifically don't talk until this ad is over, because that way, I don't know, I don't want people watching ads to feel like they're missing something. That makes me mad. You're welcome. Thank you for the 3 cents. But what is up? Welcome, Anima, Cozy Stales, Fluffkins. Hello, welcome. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. The internet's probably gonna suck today. Just a warning. I want to get that out, get out of the way first. I posted about it in my Discord. If you want to read the Discord, read what I have to say about that. I'm having some internet issues. It's currently unfixed. I don't know. Hey, Canadian Warlord signed back up for I signed up for a whole bunch of tournaments, and the Canadian Warlord guy joined my team, because I named the team the same thing. He must have saw my team name and was like, oh shit, I'll join that guy again. Hell yeah. What a guy. Fuck yeah. I'm down. That's not today, though. Don't worry about it. There's no tournaments today. So yeah, this is just going to be a bit more of a chill stream. It'll be maybe like 4 to 6 hours. There will probably be some internet issues. If there's not, that's great, but expect them, to be honest. So yeah, I'm working on fixing it. I have some ideas on how to troubleshoot. I know the end of last stream was a bit miserable. I was just really frustrated. I was exhausted, and I thought I fixed it going into that stream, and then it wasn't fixed, so it just kind of really was demoralizing. I wrote more about it in my Discord, but so today will be better. I won't be as miserable about it. I know going in that there'll probably be some issues, and I have some ideas on things to do after the stream. Whereas yesterday I was just like, I don't know what the fuck. I just wasn't really. I just wasn't in the mood for it. So yeah. But we're just gonna have a chill, alright World Tank session. Nothing too crazy. I want to play this tank. The reason I'm playing this tank is because, one, for this marathon, you want to play tier 6 tanks, and this is a tier 6 tank. But also, I say this quite often, so anybody who's been around the stream knows what I'm talking about, but I want to get every vehicle in my garage to above 51% win rate. And this is a tank I played a long time ago. I actually did pretty well in it, comparatively. I played this years and years ago. This was probably like 6 years ago, maybe 4. I played this tank, and I played 244 battles, which is a lot, but I got a 49% win rate, which isn't great. It's not bad though. 49% isn't bad. I wouldn't look at 49% and be mad or disappointed. I'd just be like, okay, that can be better. 46%, that's pretty bad. That tank was around the same time, because this is the Czechoslovakian medium tank line, which I really do want to grind up and get the tier 10, which I do plan to do at some point. See, we're already getting some Fs. Rip the Fs. It still makes me mad, even though I know that it's going to happen today, but it's okay. So, yeah, I want to play this tank. We'll max out the points for it and try and get the win rate as good as I can. I won't be able to move the win rate to 51% today because I have so many games in it. Unless it's close to 50. Is it close to 50? No, it's not even close. Oh, they round up. Okay, so yeah, it's actually, they do round up. So these ones aren't technically on 51%. That's fine. As long as it says 51% in the garage. Because, I mean, honestly, I'm okay with anything that's, like, because that's the majority. You know what I mean? If it rounds up, that means you win the majority of your matches, which is kind of like the point for me. I want it to be 51%. So, it does round up, though. So we are actually lower than 59%. We're at 48.7, which will take, and since I have 244 battles, the average is going to take a long time to move. This tank isn't bad, though, and I actually do have a decent crew. I need to do these dailies, though. What mission should I reset? Plus 10 critical hits? I should reset whatever's a bad reward, so I guess just the critical hits. Maybe get some bonds? Maybe. That would have been nice. So, first of all, I need a style. Let's get some camouflage on this tank, shall we? What are we looking at? Festivity? A little bit too much color for me. That looks kind of nice. A little too colorful though. It's a little too bland. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Kind of like that actually. Ooh, that one's kind of cool too, actually. That one's kind of cool. It's funny because I remember how I got all of these. Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. I like this one a lot, though. Is Czechoslovakia a cold place, though? It probably is, right? I don't know much about. They're called the Czech Republic now, aren't they? I think, or was that what they were called before? I don't know. They changed their name from one to the other, but I can't remember which order it was in. I know very little. I apologize for my ignorance. Ooh, that one's kind of cool. Ooh, we have a picture of a Wolverine, maybe? I'd like to say a cat, but I don't think that's a cat. I guess it is a cat. Because this is like stripes. This would be a cat. And that's a polar bear. And that's a rhino. That's kind of fun. I think I'm going to go with the Shield of Artemis. I liked that one. Let's go with this one. Alright, I need to buy the modules. I assume this turret is probably just better. Yeah. Get 4 extra traverse speed, a little extra view range. That's worth it. Then in terms of the gun, I don't know if this gun's actually better. So it's the same gun, but one has an autoloader and one doesn't. But if you don't put the autoloader on the gun, it's probably gonna... It just has nothing. Actually, to be fair, the dispersion's worse, too. A little bit less accuracy. Time for loading between shots is only 133. So yeah, you're gonna want to go with the autoloader. That's the main thing about the Czechoslovakian mediums and the heavies, to be fair. Well, the heavies have other things going for them. But the mediums are all about the autoloader, all about that deadly potential. I do actually like this little tank. I've played it past like grinding through the thing for it. Sometimes you actually don't want to upgrade your radio because look at how much heavier it is. Right? If I use the medium radio, I mean, that's 80 kilograms I can drop. Right? It's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. And your power to weight ratio does make your tank faster. So, would I want the better radio? Because what's my power to weight right now? 2153. Whereas if I get the better radio... Oh, okay, it barely goes down. Okay, that's fine. I guess... that is actually just only... That's a small amount. Because when you're dealing with such a large amount of tons. You're dealing with tons. So a little bit of kilograms doesn't really matter. Okay, fair enough. I don't know weights very well. So radio is probably worth it though. Alright, we've got our modules. We've got our crew. I need some equipment. What would I want to put on this tank? I feel like a rotation mechanism. Maybe I should play it a little bit first though. Coated optics. What's the actual view range? His base view range is minus 14. It'd be 360. What's the base view range of the Type 58? Hello? Tell me, please. Maybe 45. 45 would be 370, right? Let me bring this up in Tanks GG. And let's compare, shall we? I'm going to put the Skoda up against the Type 58. So that way, it's always good if you're playing a new tank. I mean, I've played this tank a lot, but it was a long time ago. To compare it against something you've already played. Because then, that's like the way that's the way human brains work, right? Is you want to compare it against something. So comparing it against something I've already played, I can see the difference, right? So the penetration is slightly lower. Type 58 has slightly better penetration, has much better DPM, but the Skoda has an auto loader. It also has higher alpha damage. It deals 160. The Skoda only does 110. That means I can deal a potential of 330 damage in one clip. So if somebody's under 300 health, I can kill them, right? And I need to think about that. I need to keep that in mind. Autoloaders can be very deadly if you use them correctly. In terms of gun handling, pretty much it's worse on moving and tank traverse, but it's actually better. But the Skoda has 10 degrees of gun depression. That's actually insane. The aim time is quite long on the Skoda, though. It's actually interesting. The aim time is quite long. The accuracy is pretty similar. The turret traverse is better, so that's similar-ish gun handling. It's pretty similar, although the aim time on the Type 58 is a lot better. In terms of mobility, the Skoda is much quicker. We're actually pretty fast. We're actually a pretty fast tank. The turret traverse is pretty slow, though, weirdly enough. And the tank traverse, strangely. But it's quite fast. It's got very good power to weight. It has the same top speed, but the power to weight is quite nice. It also has better ground resistances, somewhat. I think. Yeah, the tank traverse is really bad, though. Interesting. In terms of armor, it has none. It also has 80 less hit points. It also has not great camo, to be honest, and 10 meters less view range. Type 58 is actually not a bad tank. If I actually look at the tank, the 3D model, look at the live, you basically aren't ricocheting shit. There's, like, even if you use your gun depression, your armor sucks. I mean, you can maybe side scrape. You can maybe bait some shots side scraping. If they try and track you while side scraping, that works. But if they shoot your upper plate, it doesn't work. My PC is taking off like it likes to do when I look at Tanks GG. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, if I guess I go in here, this is probably easier to show. Yeah. So if you go like this, they can't actually do any damage here or here. Like, you can actually over angle, but if they shoot here, because this is angled from the front, right? Then it becomes flat at this angle, so they can easily go through here. But this thing is made out of paper. But if they shoot you from the front, if they hit this upper plate or these side plates, they're so well angled that they'll bounce. Or the side of your turret. But everywhere else is basically a guaranteed penetration because you're made out of paper. But that's okay. I do kind of know this tank a little bit already. Makes me, the turret traverse and the tank traverse being so bad really makes me want to put improved rotation mechanism. This thing I think is underrated. Rotation mechanism is actually underrated in my opinion, except it's underrated on tanks that can't get what you call it? What is it called? Vert stabs. Because it's basically like a mini vert stabs. And the thing is that a lot of the time, medium tanks don't get firepower slots. They get mobility slots. And you can put a rotation mechanism in a mobility slot. Whereas vert stabs, you can't. So you can kind of get like a mini vert stabs. Because vert stabs give 20 to dispersion after firing in vehicle traverse. If you don't know what dispersion is, it basically is... Your reticle has... your reticle is like... If you stand completely still, there's 3 things that go into aiming in this game. There's 3 mechanics that go into aiming and statistics that go into aiming. Which is, you have your dispersion, or your accuracy. Most people just call it accuracy, because there's 2 things called dispersion, which is kind of confusing. Your accuracy, which is basically, it's this number, dispersion at 100 meters. So it's at 100 meters, that's like, so it's just like a rough accuracy at 100 meters, but you can kind of gauge what that feels like at longer distances. And that's how much the shell will deviate from your main point of aim, like the middle of your crosshair. So obviously, the higher it is, the more it'll deviate, the less you can snipe at things at longer distances, right? Then your second thing is you have your, like, dispersion, which is when you move the turret, when you move the tank, when you move, like, the gun, any of these things. when you fire as well, it will make your reticle bloom out, right? So that way you have to aim back in. And then you have your aim time, which is how fast it will reduce. So if you lower your dispersion, you don't need your aim time as much because you don't have to aim as much because your dispersion doesn't bloom out as much. But if you lower your aim time, then it doesn't matter how much you bloom out, you can aim in quickly, right? And if you lower your accuracy, you don't always have to fully aim because it won't deviate as much. You know what I mean? So it's like all three of it goes in. If you want a really good sniping tank, you want a tank with fast aim time that we can snipe really easily at targets that don't really give you much opportunity to shoot at them. You also want low accuracy dispersion, so that way your shots always go where you're aiming, because when you're firing at long range. You also want good turret, dispersion of your turret and stuff, so that way it doesn't bloom out as much, so that way you don't have to aim as long, so that way you can snap in those shots at very small opportunities, right? So it kind of all goes into it. Good sniping tanks have all three, but most tanks have, one of the three statistics is a lot worse than the other, or something along that. They have a combination, so it makes each tank kind of feel unique in its own way, right? So it is a pretty cool system, in my opinion. I really think improved rotation mechanism would probably be good. Improved ventilation would probably be good. And coated optics. I think that's probably what I would go for. That's usually my kind of loadout. If you can't put a gun rammer, at least. What's up, Gabby? Welcome. Welcome. In terms of ammo, what's my penetration? 130? That's not great. I think I probably will need quite a bit of premium rounds. I'll bring 2 mags of HE. I think 2 mags of HE will probably be good. Maybe 3. I might get into a tier 8 matchup, so I probably will need quite a bit of APCR sometimes. So because I'm using it, because it's an autoloader, you can only take bullets in increments of 3. Because you load magazines in increments of 3. Which, I mean, I guess they could let you bring weird numbers of bullets, but that wouldn't really be useful. Cause, I mean, I guess it kind of would be. I'm not really sure how I feel about equipment yet, because I'm not really sure what I want to put on. So I'm kind of on the fence. I kind of want to leave it until I kind of know what I'm dealing with in terms, because the statistics will be actually maxed out on this tank now. Other than... Oh, that's funny. You don't actually lose... You don't lose elite status. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's really nice of them, actually. Because I can turn this on and turn it off. So when you, tanks in the tech tree, they get this thing called elite status when you research everything that you can, right? So you can see this little, this T-34-100 has little gold wings around the symbol there. Or like a wreath. That means I've researched everything this tank can research, right? So now anytime I get XP on it, it will either go into this free XP up here, or I can click this box, accelerate crew training, which will mean that it'll speed up my crew. So any experience I would earn on this tank to then research other things can instead be spent on speeding up the crew, or I can save it up in here and then use gold to convert it to free experience, which then I can spend on anything I want. So I can spend free experience anywhere. You also get a little bit of free experience after every battle. So that's why I have so much saved up, because I never spend free experience. Which I'm a bit of a weird case with that one. Usually people spend free experience quite often. But to be fair, I don't grind tech tree tanks. That's usually what you would spend free experience on, because usually tech tree tanks, you want the modules, right? So you'll go up and you'll play a tank. You'll be like, all right, I just unlocked the VZ44 from playing the Skoda so much. I got the 56,000. I can now research it. And then you go into research it, and now you have this terrible gun that you start with. It's called playing a tank stock. You have a terrible turret, right, which probably won't bounce shit, right, because it's made out of paper. And so you're moved up a tier, but your tank sucks. So you spend the free experience to at least get a good gun, get a good turret, right, and then you can start grinding out the experience with the tank being combat ready, kind of, to get the next tank, right? So that's usually what people spend free experience on. But I don't usually do tech tree tanks, or I haven't for a very long time. And when I do, I usually just do them very slowly over a time. So I don't usually spend my free experience. But they have started doing black markets where you can spend free experience to get very rare premium tanks. So the fact that I have 700k, like 700k is enough to buy the most expensive tank that's ever been sold for free experience. Like, the most expensive one. So 700k is a lot. Like, I have a lot of free experience. Credits, I kind of have, I also have a lot of credits, to be fair, because I have consumables. Usually you spend a lot of credits on consumables and equipment and stuff, but I have a lot of equipment and consumables. My account is actually in a very good spot economically. I don't really need anything, which is not always the case, because it is a free-to-play, like, grindy kind of MMO-style game. You do kind of want you kind of need to work up the economy of your account. My account's actually in a very good spot economically. I have tons of premium tanks I can play. I have a little bit of gold, which is nice just to have a little bit. I have a huge stack of credits, and I have a huge stack of free experience. I have lots of consumables. I have lots of equipment. I have pretty much everything I need. I'm not really desperate for anything, and I don't have to grind for anything currently. There's nothing that I need. There is some things I'm missing. I don't have any tier 10 tanks. I don't have any way to earn bonds. I don't have, like, some of the better tanks for, like, tier 10 or some game modes, stuff like that. I'm missing some of the more OP premium type stuff. I don't have any, like, improved or bounty equipment. Is there anything else I'm missing? I mean, I don't have premium time. I guess you could say that, but that's kind of real money, right? Although you can buy with gold, but I don't plan to. Yeah, I think it's mostly like bounty, bond equipment, tier 10 tanks, some of the better tier 10 tanks, a way to earn bonds, because tier 10 tanks earn bonds, or tier 9 premiums, to be fair. But anyways, yeah, I'm just going to keep accelerated crew training on, to be honest, because I'd like to grind up this tech tree, like, on purpose, if that makes sense, not just, like, accidentally. So, hey, let's do our first match, shall we? Do our first match, see how it goes. So I'm not going to put any equipment on yet. I'll put equipment on after I kind of get a feel for the vehicle a little bit. Although I've played this tank a lot. I've played this tank 200 matches, but I don't remember. I mean, this was 4 years ago or something. So it was a while ago. I'm probably only going to need, like, to play, like, 20 games, though. Well, that's if I do well. 20 games if I do well. Even less if I do even better. I mean, it could go down to, like, 14 games if I do really well. But chances are I won't do really well because I'm a tier 6 tank made of paper. Which is hard to do. But this tank is actually not too bad. Although they did nerf it. They did nerf it since I last played it, actually. I did forget about that. They did nerf it. Because it was kind of good. It was a little too good, maybe. But the TVP, which is later in the line, which I played, that tank was bad. And it's still not that great. And they buffed that one. So I'm kind of excited to play that one at some point. Because that'll be fun. Because it'll be fun to see a tank that I used to play that was terrible actually be better now. So far the internet's been okay. We had that one drop early on, but there will be some more. Like I said, just be prepared for that. I know it kind of sucks, but I'm working on fixing it. Today is just I posted about it in my Discord. If you want to read that, you can. But I just would rather stream than not stream. So if you are bothered by the issues, bothered by the lag, don't feel bad for not watching. I don't blame you. It is all good. But I would rather stream than not stream. I'm just going to make sure it's a shorter stream today to try and figure out the issues after the stream. Alright, I think we go up top right here. My view range is not great, but not bad. Lag, but lag? I mean, we haven't seen any yet. We are a pretty mobile tank, though. I'm not, like, light tank fast, but I am... Actually, I mean, I'm as fast as a Type 64, and a Type 64 is decently fast. I do have 1 mark of excellence on this tank. Really, bro? Fuck. I do have 1 mark of excellence, which is kind of cool. Sorry? Oh, it's okay. There's a Cromwell. Do I get spotted? I didn't get spotted. That Cromwell doesn't have great view range, then. I didn't want to shoot there to reveal myself. Ooh, if you lower that after firing, that could be kind of nasty. So, autoloaders, you really want gun handling to be good, because after you fire, there's usually bloom. And usually, for every other tank, that doesn't matter, because you don't usually shoot fast enough. Your aim time is usually always lower than, like, 3 seconds. And most of the time, your reload's never quicker than 3 seconds. So, usually the bloom after firing doesn't matter. Autoloaders, however, sometimes you can get your intra-clip reload down to like 1 second. And you stop! Oh my god. Madge. So, having your bloom after firing be not that bad means that you can instantly put in another very quick round. And sometimes you only get a quick opportunity, like with that Cromwell, you know what I mean? I had to shoot pretty quick, otherwise he'll just dip back around the corner, so. I feel like the rotation mechanism is probably actually a pretty good shout, just because I can't put on vert stabs, so. I don't know where those shots went. That's unfortunate. I can kill this guy in one clip. I'm just gonna get rid of him. A little bit better gun handling would be really nice, actually, genuinely. I think the rotation mechanism is definitely a good idea. This tank's kind of nasty, though. It definitely does some things. I'm gonna go down to the mid because these guys are about to push my KV2. Oh, I don't think I've ever heard that. The Czech voice lines. Maybe I didn't have nationality voice lines turned on before. Who's shooting these guys? The fuck? Where are they even taking damage from? What? Oh, it's the AT-8. Okay, I do not know this map well enough. Oh, this tank is not bad, man. The reload's pretty quick, too. Oh, nice try. Can we save our AT-8? I can clip the Pollack if he gets him down to 300. Okay, Pollack I can kill. AT-8's probably about to die. I can clip the Pollack. I'm gonna go around. I can't go straight towards him. They're gonna turn around. This game isn't that close. We have the health advantage. Who's unspotted? National Runner T-78. He killed the Pollack. I need him to hit him again. I can push up to those boxes. I'm going to do it. I want to help this KV2. Reverse here. Use the things for cover. Okay, now I need to go help him. Because he's going to have a long reload. The VK is going to murder him. To take a shot there because my aim was bad, but I don't know that tank well enough. This tank's actually pretty good. It's still pretty good, though. It did get nerfed. It did get nerfed, but it's still pretty good. You have everything you need. Dangerous little autoloader. Mobility to actually get around. Look at that. S-8, he's running, dude. What a fucker. Come back here. You're mine, bitch. Nope, nope, nope. Not happening. Not happening. GG had fun. Aw. I'm a smiley face. What wholesome gamers, dude. You know, I used to, so I was reading the Reddit, right? The World of Tanks Reddit earlier today. And genuinely, people always say like, oh, the KV2 gave me a thank you, too. Give him a thank you.